What is going on? Heavy Pour Sports late night on this great Wednesday, April 22nd. How are y'all doing today? T's on the road again, rocking live from the hotel room. Selena, you look great.
Thanks.
Hammer, not so much, but how you doing today, buddy?
Don't forget, though, Hammer can fuck but everybody else can, so that's all that matters.
He did say the thing. He did say that got everybody spun up. What's up, Drew?
Hey, Drew.
Starting a new list. You're the first name on it, Rando.
T, where you at on this Wednesday?
I am in Gallup, New Mexico. So I'm real close to the four corners, where the four states, Colorado, Utah, Arizona, New Mexico. I'm up in that neck of the woods.
How is it?
It is not great. I don't want to lambast a city or anything like that, but it is not the ticket, and I am here for the whole work week. So yeah.
It seemed fun.
Enjoy the per diem and get through it.
The per diem is what keeps me going, baby.
Nice. Selena, how you doing?
I'm tired. I'm not gonna lie, I'm tired. But it's okay.
Hey, team, I gotta ask you a question. How many times does Selena say she's tired when I ask her?
Every day.
Is it every time?
Every day. Rando, I live in a perpetual state of exhaustion, okay? I have so much shit going on all the time.
Well, we know why. Because you're putting out posts about going to some naughty places at midnight.
Stop going to strip club.
Listen,
Yep.
I didn't say right then. I just said we wanted to go, okay? We want to go, and we need someone to take us, okay?
I'm just saying you're out there doing some naughty things on a school night. You're going to be tired.
That's right.
You're right. Thank you. Thank you for chastising me properly. I appreciate that.
Landon Selena is 100% of all. I have photographic
You know who that
proof.
is, right? You know who that is?
I have no idea.
That's BB.
Who is that?
That's BB.
Oh, is that BB?
That's BB on a burner.
Nice. On a YouTube burner. That's a interesting take. What's up, BB? Jansen, how you doing, brother? Thanks for joining
Hi,
in.
Jansen. Hi, Mercy.
So,
getting a new clock. Oh, because we were late. Our bad. Fearless leader over here.
Yeah, that's on me. That's on me. It was bedtime, so I was cutting it close. But we'll go backwards. We'll start backwards from, I think, the post NBA playoffs on right now. Hammer, you were right about our the Pistons. My Magic got it done game one. Now they got the brakes beat off them in game two, but that's all right. We did what you got to do. You still won on the road.
Yeah, I think the consensus was Detroit would win game two. So now they have to go back. Now they have to go to Orlando, and I think we'll see. I think we'll see them get exposed a little more.
I hope so. They got to figure out a way to stop Cade Cunningham. He did whatever the hell he wanted today.
Yeah.
In fairness, he does that to the entire NBA. So
yeah, I mean, even in the loss in game one, he still had like 29, 8, and 7. Like it was still a ridiculous stat line, and he's going to get that. But they just have to limit what everybody else does.
Yeah, I need Paolo to go in takeover mode. It is tough cheering for a Dookie, but he's in Orlando now, so forget about that.
Did you see Wemby's face bounce off the court?
That was
That was
scary.
nasty.
That
Yeah,
was
nasty.
that was awful.
Like twice, he hit a double tap. Like, bop, bop.
I know,
Like,
but it
shoulder.
was. I was like, oh god.
And that's a long way. That's a big fall. Like that's like twice normal people's fall on their face. So he's coming down from a long way.
Twice more people face. Yeah, that was rough. I was like, ugh.
Chris, we'll talk about Pope. No, I don't think he's getting fired, but
Not yet.
he ain't doing a lot of good things for himself right now. Even as the Pope apologist, I'm getting a little
I think he's doing terrific.
Yeah.
He's doing a great job.
I'm going to start it
any of that.
Extend Mark Pope.
Hey,
Great
I
job.
think we did that last year, and he did cap off a Tennessee sweep again. But
You can have all those you want as long as you have zero postseason success, and we continue to go further than y'all. You can take it.
Okay, all right. Well, we've already derailed the show. Let's just go there. I had a sequence, and I was like, we're going to hit
did
that
Shai
last.
get hurt?
We can just go there. I'm sorry,
Did Shai get hurt?
SGA. I don't know.
He had like a little hand thing, but he's starting to warm up now. He's out there playing.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
I see him
saw a
dribbling
tweet
now.
about it, and I was like,
Oh, you talking about the free throw merchant?
All right, don't do that. We know you're an SGA fan.
I love him, but come on, dude.
it works.
It's not on SGA. It's on the NBA. They got to reel it in. He's not the only one doing it.
He's the only one getting that kind of whistle.
Maybe. But he's the MVP. He deserves it.
Oh, jeez.
But this series is tough for me because I think OKC beats Phoenix pretty easy. But, man, I don't know what he's got to do, but it'd probably leave Phoenix. But I just want to see Devin Booker get on a good team. I love Devin Booker, one, because he's a cat, one of my all-time favorite cats. And they cannot get it figured out to put a decent squad around him.
Yeah.
He definitely has to leave. It's never going to happen in Phoenix.
No, I feel like it's just it's bad ownership and bad management too. Is that what it is in Phoenix?
Yeah, I mean, they have new
the
ownership.
experiment didn't work.
Yeah, they have new ownership, but yeah, it's just I don't think they have a good GM. I don't remember if it's James Jones anymore or who it is, but I mean, you just look at their roster construction. It's their backcourt is actually not bad. I think their front court is pretty weak. I mean, Jalen Green and Booker and what's his face from Oregon, defense bag evil guy, Brooks.
Say again? Oh, Brooks. Yeah.
Dylan Brooks. They got a decent backcourt, but their front court is and then Grayson Allen, I think. Oh no, he's not there anymore. But either way, decent backcourt, weak sauce front court. They just can't get a well-rounded team.
Yeah, and I don't know why they thought the throwing money at Beal was the right answer. That dude just when he can't stay on the court, he's just not
terrible.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Houston should be looking for a new coach after this series comes to an end. Because
you think so?
Well, you absolutely cannot drop 2 games to that Lakers squad with no Luka and no Austin Reeves. That was embarrassing.
Yeah, it was embarrassing. And KD didn't play game 1. You know, I watched that game and I was definitely Laker hating the whole time, you know, out here just south of LA. Not a popular take, but KD did whatever he could to give that game away late. I mean, whether it was turnovers or just poor decisions, like he did not look like himself. He started off hot, and then that second half was terrible. And then they got back close into the game, and I will say the coach kept trying to run the same ISO play for KD when he just wasn't going to get it done. Over and over and over again, it just resulted in a turnover or a bad shot. It just was not good basketball for Houston late, and they didn't have Reed Shepherd on the floor in the closing minutes, so that's a terrible decision.
Yeah, no, I do agree. Outside of KD, I mean, he's the only guy that really can get you back in the game. But that game, I don't feel like it was ever closer than like 7 or 8 points. Like it felt like double-digit lead the whole night.
Yeah. We'll see. I mean, the Lakers, I did not think the Lakers would leave that 2-0, but they are, and now Houston's got to go get 2 back home, which I would expect them to get 3, and we'll see. I mean, you guys are bigger on LeBron than me.
I'm not.
Can he? Okay, I know T is. Can he do what he did in these first two games? Because it was impressive. As much as I'm a LeBron hater, what he did in the first two games, especially game 2, was impressive. Can he keep that up for a full series? Can he keep that up for multiple series? I don't think so. I think they got to get Luka back as quickly as possible. And then even Luka kind of gums things up. They're both great players, but
I thought he was out rest of the season.
is he out the rest of the season?
I thought Luka was out indefinitely. Was what it was.
I missed that.
No, he was out the rest of the regular season. He went back to Europe, to Spain or wherever to get some treatment.
It was a hamstring, right?
I think so. They're trying to get him back. He probably got some stem cell stuff or something, you know. So, but he is not like definitely out. I think he's a game by game basis. Austin Reeves is out for the season though, like for the postseason and everything.
We have conflicting reports. I don't know who this guy is, but he says Luka's back. Jansen says he's out. So we have a source off right now, live on the show.
Yeah, because there's a big difference between Luka shooting free throws in the gym versus Luka running up and down the floor, planning, turning, twisting, playing the way he plays.
On the hamstring,
I think it's going to be very challenging for Luka to get back on the floor for the playoffs. Mm-hmm. Not saying he won't, but if he does, I mean,
who was replacing Reeves? Was it Luke Kennard?
Yeah, Kennard.
And he had 27. Like, you can't let this dude go for 20.
That's what I'm saying. It's like this iteration of the Lakers, the Rockets, even without KD. I'm sorry, even without KD, that iteration of the Lakers should not win a playoff game. And it looks like they'll probably win this series and move on, because I don't know that Houston's going to climb out of an 0-2 deficit with the way they played and the way Ike's coached.
To answer your question, LeBron can keep it up for a series. He's not going to be able to keep it up for the whole playoffs, but for one series, he can do that.
Yeah, I think he'll put on the cake for the first round, and then it's going to be a little different story because there are numerous teams in the West that can end their season.
And you know, his legacy matters to him, and that's a legacy thing, right? Like, you get a tad little boost if you can make it through the first round, 41, no teammate, whatever, all that stuff. If you lose in the first round, it doesn't help him. Winning does help him, so that matters. So he'll give that everything he's got, just to try to add to the legacy.
Yeah, that's a good point. Like I said, I watched him yesterday. I was like, all right, fourth quarter, LeBron's going to show up. He's going to fizzle out. And he didn't. He was explosive, but then he also didn't have to because he had a lot of help from the supporting cast. And, Houston just fell apart. Turnovers, we already mentioned that.
What is fourth quarter LeBron?
I stand in the corner and just kind of hang out for a little bit.
Since when?
Since always. Post-COVID LeBron.
I'm not even responding to that.
I think I put out a video of like a whole sequence of him just standing in the corner as like there was 3 back and forths. He was just kind of hanging out.
Maybe, but he also has more clutch baskets than anybody ever. So
maybe I'm talking about like last
Brandon,
2-3 years.
You're getting cooked in the comments though.
I don't care. I don't care. Everybody knows how I feel about LeBron. He's the 3rd greatest player of all time. I just know I've never seen MJ or Kobe hang out in the corner. But
Juice said he wants whatever Rando is smoking.
I wish, buddy. I got like 6 more years. I don't think I'm going to smoke something, but I might do the CBD gummies. I just kind of want to know what that experience is like. But
CBD's different though. That won't do anything for you.
No,
not like that.
Oh, well, I don't want to get like
you gotta get some real
lifted. I don't want to get like lifted.
No, you gotta go to space at least once.
Okay, we'll go to space when I retire. But I have not in my life been elevated. So, retire. It is something I feel like you have to try once before.
Hey, what's up, Emmett?
Hi, Emmett. Hope you're doing okay.
Hope you're feeling better, man.
Yeah, same. Is his time jacked up? Because I don't see him.
No,
he and Coach Evans both got a little wonky on the clock there. I had to go back up to the top.
I don't know why it does that.
Them. Yeah.
It looks. I think Evans. I think he's agreed with me on the LeBron thing.
No, Braden's correct. You are tripping saying he just stands in the corner.
I've seen it happen. Y'all just, you want to see what you want to see.
Seeing
Okay.
3 plays out of a 23-year career or whatever it is, it's just not indicative of his playing style.
I'm sure there's more. What'd you think about this 76er Celtic series? Because that one I think is going to be a good one. I think it potentially goes 6-7 games. But I do think the Sixers pull it out. What's that? What?
Nothing. You did 6-7 games, and I went.
Oh, I missed it.
Yeah,
I'm still not. I let that reference escape me too many times.
Yeah, that it'll go at least 6 because the Celtics like to play with their food. Basically, they should be able to. They should win that in 4 or 5 games the most, but they won't.
You don't like the Sixers.
Well, Embiid, I mean, he flakes out at the worst times, and
that's why. And I would typically agree with you, but with VJ and Maxey playing the way they're playing, I think they could carry them. And again, Maxey being a cat, I kind of lean that way anyway. So I might be with my heart, but
yeah, I get that, and you want to see your alums do well. But the Celtics are a much better team than the Sixers, with or without Embiid. And
if Paul George is going to consistently give you 19 a night, 20 a night, you don't really need Embiid to do much.
Yes, you do. 19 to 20 that's not enough. That's not carrying.
No, but Maxey's getting 25 plus. VJ's getting 25 plus.
Yeah, but VJ, he's streaky. He can go ice cold in a blink of an eye and just kind of disappear. And one thing I know for sure is Tatum and Brown absolutely will not disappear. They will keep pouring it on. I just don't understand how they, because I'm kind of a Celtics fan because of Larry Bird. So I feel like they just don't have a killer instinct on this team.
Yeah, potentially, and that'll get you. We saw it with the Pacer series; it almost got them 2 years in a row. It definitely got them last year. But I'm sorry, I'm trying to keep up with Juice's.
You're gonna have to argue with Juice on this one because he's a huge Celtics fan too. So he's.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
He's definitely gonna argue. Yeah, he's definitely gonna argue.
Hit a button. Yeah. Just saying. I like that those two come. And if you're gonna get, and I know you're a Paul George fan, T. So.
I was. I mean, but I also acknowledge, where he's at now.
Don't start with me, Coach.
So.
I saw that too. I was just gonna let it ride. I was like, all right.
I couldn't let it go. Sorry. I love Coach.
That's fine. No, it's okay. It's come to something that I almost expect now. So pour it on me. It is all good. I'm just saying, you can't sit there and look at what the Sixers did yesterday and go, I mean, maybe it's a fluke, but they keep it up. I like their chances against the Celtics team because you say they don't go cold, but if you got to get more from Jason Tatum than, what did he get? 18, 19 last night. And he's just coming back. But I don't think if you can't really just lean on Brown to get past the 76ers.
That's Finals MVP Brown. Why can he not get past?
I disagree because they leaned on Brown all season when Tatum was out, and he towed the line. So I think they absolutely can rely on.
But you don't think playing the same team in a 7-game series?
Huh?
Oh, I agree. I agree. Now I'm just saying, I think you need a playoff Tatum to play well to get by the team.
I don't disagree with that. I just feel like Brown is. I really think it's Jaylen Brown's team, and I feel like it has been for a couple seasons.
And that's been an argument for sure. And that's why when people thought they needed to trade away Brown, a few years ago to build around Tatum, I mean, there was a big discussion about that. It's like Jaylen Brown is someone who you cannot get rid of. You got to find a way to pay both. They did. Yeah, we'll see. Juice, I know you're a fan. I don't care. Your argument is invalid. I don't want to hear any of your nonsense over there in the comments. But I will say, how many games did Tatum play coming back before the playoffs? Do we know?
Maybe
I
like
mean, I'm not asking for
so. I mean, I'd have to look
I
it
didn't
up
think
for sure.
But it wasn't. I didn't think it was a lot, right? It wasn't.
No, it wasn't
a substantial
much.
amount of games.
Yeah.
So I guess the other thing is like, does he have the win to go deep into a playoff series? Those sort of things.
Yeah, I mean, I think so because his first game back, he scored like
28
points.
Yeah.
So I don't think that's necessarily an issue. But I mean, he does more than just score. I mean, to Juice's point, I mean, he almost had a triple double last night. So
14 rebounds, 9 assists.
Yeah, it's not just about scoring for him. Where I think Brown's more of a focus from a scoring perspective than Tatum is. It's just it's having both those guys that can score 25 plus every game. And if they need to, they will. I agree with Josh. Yeah, the NHL playoffs are so much better than NBA.
The Stanley Cup playoffs, the NHL playoffs are definitely fun to watch. I don't get super into it. I watch the Lightning in the playoffs, but that's about it. I couldn't. I could try to talk about hockey intelligently, but I'm sure Coach would say something about that as well.
Well, there's too many names that I can't pronounce, so I stay away from it.
So my oldest is a massive hockey fan. And so I have learned so much about hockey in the past 3 months that I never knew that I would know. So
yeah, I still don't understand what icing is. I just know they call it like almost all the time. I don't know how you get to icing.
I've had icing explained to me like 15 times, and I still don't get it. It's just never gonna click in my brain. Like icing, it doesn't compute.
I think it has something to do with if the puck goes to the other side and there's not like a player close enough or something, they'll call it. I don't know. It's like
that's it.
Yep.
Yeah, if it goes across the blue
line. Nope. Too confusing. I don't get it.
Offsides in soccer is more confusing than icing in hockey.
Well, the rule of offsides in soccer is simple.
It is, but it's so subjective and arbitrary.
Correct.
That it's almost like traveling in the NBA. Like nobody knows what in the hell it is.
Yeah.
Juice, advice number one: just care and be there. The rest will work itself out.
Let them be themselves too.
Yeah.
That's the most important thing. Be there for themselves, and rest will be easy.
Yeah. Well, not easy, but it'll work itself out.
Yeah.
There's no book on it. There ain't no book on it, man. It'll come naturally to you, brother. Don't overthink it. Like T said, just be there, love on them.
Yeah.
Don't do. I mean, old school dad stuff. I could give you quotes that I was told. I don't know that's the best way to do it, but yeah.
But congrats, Juice. We're happy.
Yes, congrats.
Change your life for sure.
If you ever need advice about something or just want to talk about it, obviously we are here to talk to you because it's not always easy.
True, no.
Being a parent is a wild ride.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and I have no idea what I'm doing, so I don't know if I should give you advice. I just kind of wing it every day.
That's what everybody does. We just wing it.
I don't think any of us really know. It's kind of a day by day, hour by hour deal.
It's our first time on the planet too, right? So we're learning just like they're learning.
Yeah.
That's why I said just care and be there. The rest will work itself out.
Success is they woke up in the morning and they went to sleep at night and they're breathing. It's like, all right,
all their body
we
parts.
did it.
Yeah.
We did it.
That's a win.
No trips to the hospital. We are good to go. But transitioning, since I obviously don't know how to talk NBA according to the chat. NFL draft tomorrow. I think number one pick pretty much solidified at this point.
Yeah.
Mendoza going to the Raiders. The question is, I don't really want to dive into the whole of the 32 spots. The question is, what does the Jets do? And one thing I'm curious to get y'all's take is, watching him play, being an SEC quarterback. What do the Jets do? Do they reach for a QB, the number 2 dude from Alabama? Do they reach? Do they trade back? I think they have a 16th pick. Like, what do you do? Because I think a lot of teams make that reach and they regret it later on.
Last time they did it, they regretted it. So you'd hope they learn their lesson. They probably won't, but
yeah,
they probably won't learn their lesson. But last time they reached for Zach Wilson, we saw how that went.
Yeah, yep. Jets will take David Bailey tomorrow night with pick 2.
That's the Texas Tech guy?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Arvell Reese was the favorite to go to for the longest time. But this is the reason I'm not just jumping on a bandwagon. I've been saying this for 2 or 3 weeks. David Bailey is a pure edge rusher. He is go get the quarterback. Arvell Reese is kind of a hybrid. He can play edge. He can line up at outside linebacker. He drops back in coverage. If you look at the way he played at Ohio State, he was not a pin your ears back, go get the quarterback or the guy with the ball in the backfield. That's what the Jets need. They need an edge rusher. So that's why I'm pretty convinced that David Bailey will be the name called. A lot of people are flipping back to Reese because the Jets canceled their visit or interview, whatever, with Bailey. So everybody's putting a lot of stock in that. But listen, the Jets have drafted plenty of players over the years that they did not have meetings with prior to the draft. So that's not going to really influence me in what I think they're going to do. But there is no way that Ty Simpson is going to go that high.
I don't think so either. And I think that'd be a massive mistake. Especially with you have other picks. You can trade out of it. You could probably get Ty Simpson, middle back end of the first round.
Late first round. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if T's Cardinals didn't trade back into the first round in mid to late 20s and snag him. Would not surprise me. I think there's going to be some trades in this first round.
Oh, I do. I agree. Because there's a lot of teams up there that need a bunch of pieces. There's some teams that already have pieces and can, stack or go get a big name if they want to fill a certain hole. T, what do you think your Cardinals do with that 3rd pick?
I would rather us trade back and start collecting some draft capital because we're not going to fix the problem this year. There's not a franchise quarterback that's going to be available for us. So no matter what we do, we're going to be pitiful. So I'd rather trade back. I know we won't. I'd rather trade back and start stockpiling picks. But from everything I'm seeing from the Cardinals stuff, we'll go defense. It was the dude from Miami for the longest, but I guess some character concerns have come out about him. Plus, everybody's concerned about his short arms. So whoever the best end is that's available after the Texas Tech dude, maybe it's the other Miami guy, or Reese from Ohio State. I think that's who we end up going with. But we keep drafting linebackers in the first round, and it hasn't worked out. We got Zaven Collins out of Tulsa a couple years ago. He's been a starter, but nothing crazy. Isaiah Simmons out of Clemson. He's been traded like 3 or 4 times already. He went to Richie's Packers, and they got rid of him. So we haven't had a whole lot of luck with the linebackers that we draft, but that's probably where they're going to go again.
Yeah, I think Buda Baker has been the last true star on defense that you guys have drafted, and it would stand to reason it would be Reese at that point. But I've also heard some rumblings, and Josh just brought it up. It wouldn't be a total shock if they took Jeremiah Love at 3.
I agree, particularly with James Conner and the broken ankle.
Yeah, I think they need defense more, but given the situation, I don't know that it would shock me if they took Love at 3, and then that would kind of drop a domino or two for the next few picks.
I wouldn't be mad at it, to be honest. I know you don't draft a running back early, but I really wouldn't be mad at it, particularly because our quarterback, Jacoby Brissett, and he's doing some kind of little holdout, which is insane.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
But whatever you do, if you get someone like Jeremiah Love and you let Connor kind of come back healthy and you got them as a 1-2 punch, that can help your quarterback out a lot. So I know you don't draft a running back that high, but I wouldn't be completely mad at it.
Now, if they do start getting rumblings that the Cardinals are going to go at 3, there's not a lot of room, but Joshy Boy just brought it up because I would think the Titans would use that 4th pick for Jeremiah Love if he's there. They start getting, but again, there's not a lot of movement. So maybe they try to steal him from the Cardinals and give him a bunch. I don't think you're going to get the 2 pick from the Jets. So I do think Jeremiah Love is the domino if he will go that high, and he's definitely talented enough. Now, we saw somebody like Genty go high last year. If you don't have an O-line and offense, you're not going to be super productive. But you're building for the future. You have there's not a lot of Jeremiah Loves that are going to just be available every year.
Yeah.
So that's interesting.
Yeah. Well, I think Sonny Styles could also be in play for the Titans if the Cardinals were to take Love, which I don't think they will. I think they go defense. But if they were, then I think the pick has to be Sonny Styles at that point for the Titans.
And then kind of rounding out that top 5 is the Giants have the 5th pick. Is that right?
Correct.
I wonder what they do. What are they being showed to do? Because I'm assuming they're going to try to anchor that D line. They just traded away.
Lawrence?
Yeah. So they go defense. I mean, the offense, they got Neighbors. Did he come back healthy last year? Or did he get late? I can't remember. They lost Neighbors late, right?
Yeah, last year was when he was hurt.
Yeah.
I thought.
And then they lose Wandale.
Pretty much the whole season. Yeah. They won't take a wide receiver with 5. They'll take a wide receiver at 10.
Yeah. So they probably go D-line or at least defense.
Yeah, I think that's where Sonny Styles ends up. If everything goes the way we think, Sonny Styles will be the Jets pick, or should be the Giants pick.
Wow. That's interesting. Caleb Downs would be.
For whatever reason, he has slipped.
Really?
Yep.
That's
interesting. He's somewhere. I think his over/under is 9.5. If he's there, which I expect to be, the Commanders that's probably a lock at 7. Because Cleveland will do something stupid and take a wide receiver. So I think Downs he won't make it past the Commanders, and the Saints are definitely taking Reuben Bain, because I don't think he's on anybody else's board at that point. Then it gets real interesting after that. Because you got
any chance he falls to 11? I would take Caleb Downs at 11 if I'm the Dolphins.
I don't think there's any
no
way.
questions out. No.
Yeah, they got to have secondary help, whether it's Downs or a cornerback. Dolphins got to have some secondary help.
Got to. But it doesn't matter. We're in the same boat. New head coach who I have no faith in. GM who I don't have a lot of faith in. We'll see. I mean, honestly, the quarterback situation isn't going to get worse. So, at least guy we have now isn't going to have scrambled eggs, from getting, hit, and he's a dual threat guy. But I don't even want to talk about the Dolphins. They're going to be ass regardless. So, but Caleb Downs at 11, if that were to happen, that would be a hell of a pick for sure.
He's somebody to buy his jersey. He's special, man. I'm with Hammer. I didn't know he was slipping, but whatever it's going to be, it's ridiculous because he's not a character. He's not a character concerned guy, and man, he's the best safety I've seen in college. Him and Kyle Hamilton, the best I've seen in college in forever.
Yeah.
Well, shoot, Nick Saban said he was the best player he's ever coached. He's like best defensive player I've ever coached.
I'm okay with that. He's incredible, man.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a heck of an athlete.
He comes from a football family too, right?
Correct. His brother is one of the more underrated receivers in the NFL. In my opinion.
But is it dad played in the league too, or uncle played? He comes from like a lineage of NFL guys, right?
Maybe I didn't know that. I just knew him. His brother's been with the Colts for a few years.
Yeah, Josh Downs he's
nice. He just plays for the
yeah.
He
Colts.
just can't stay healthy, unfortunately. But yeah, when he is on the field, he is nice.
Yeah, they're just
and
so many good.
Him and Alec Pierce are going to be the guys now that they traded away Pittman.
Yep.
Which, complete side note, what the Steelers go get a new coach who I have a lot of faith in. I think he's going to be good. He is a Yinzer. Like, he's from the area. He's passionate about Pittsburgh. He's a Super Bowl winning head coach. And Aaron Rodgers is just like, I'll let you know at some point if I'm going to come back. The draft is happening. They don't even know who the quarterback's going to be. Like, this dude sucks. All right. Like he was one of the most talented quarterbacks to ever play. But he's like legit just tears franchises up because he's just so about like himself. I don't understand it. If you ask him, he'll tell you he's the smartest person in the NFL, maybe the smartest person on the planet. I just don't understand this dude. Like, tell me if you're going to play or not so they can complain about it. I got to imagine that the franchise has to be super irritated with this dude unless he's already told them behind the scenes and everybody else that's talking about it is acting like we don't know. But it's just like seems like he got him hostage. And how do you draft like that?
Yeah, he's an historic underachiever in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, he's when it comes to throwing the football, best to ever do it. When it comes to like winning and being one of the greatest, he had the talent and he had the teams, but he just couldn't get it done.
Well, he's the most accurate. Can't say he's the best to ever throw a football. That's a little.
I just meant if you're building a Mount Rushmore of like arm talent, he would be considered, right? You got Dan Marino on there, Patrick Mahomes and what he can do, Aaron Rodgers, probably Matt Stafford. Like, you just go through and there would be a list of like maybe 7-8 people that you could at least say would be in the conversation of like how he throw the ball off platform, that sort of thing.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, if you top 10, no question. Top 5 in the argument. Accuracy, you can't deny the numbers. So yeah, but the one Super Bowl ring is kind of tough to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, historic underachiever. You can't be one of the most talented.
Trent has a Super Bowl ring, okay? So that doesn't necessarily paint the whole picture.
So does Brad Johnson.
Shout out Tampa Bay Bucks legend Trent Dilfer.
And Brad Johnson.
Yeah.
Yep. Yes, Juice. I am a massive sneakerhead. It's quite a problem.
I will disrespect A-Rod, Juice. I can't stand him. I don't like when somebody's that talented and can't transition that or translate that to greatness. Like, he's not a great. And that's a, you know, that meme where it's the dude from Tangled and all the swords are pointing at him and all that. I'll definitely be him on Aaron Rodgers, man. He is not a great, in my opinion. Like, I think I'm with you, Randall. I think he's an all-time talent, but I don't think he's a great, or he's certainly not even close to Mount Rushmore conversation for me.
So, like, greatest of all time?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, quarterback, no way. He would be on my Mount Rushmore or even alternate list.
Yeah.
You know who I think would make the argument? I don't know if I'd put him on there. If Stafford gets one more, you guys start talking about him as one of the greatest, especially when it comes to just ball thrower and quarterbacks, longevity. If he had been to another team outside of Detroit, you probably talk about him as being one of the greatest. You know, he finally gets out of Detroit with a great coach and an offense system around him and can win games. I guess you could argue a great quarterback can lift Detroit, you know, out of the depths of what they were at, but. You know, he did his damnedest to do that. He just, you know,
isn't Stafford the one held together by duct tape and prayers at this point?
I mean, but he gets out there and he doesn't.
I know, but like I make sure I don't watch the NFL that much. So I'm like, make sure I'm thinking about the right quarterback, right? He's the one that's held together with duct tape and prayers because he's been like beat up and shoulders all messed up. Whatever.
Yeah, he'll be playing with a broken back and everything, man. He's the one of the toughest players ever. But I've liked Stafford since he was at Georgia. I've liked him since he was at Georgia. Like
I've always liked him. Yeah.
Yeah. His talent is undeniable, and I don't know that I still put him on Mount Rushmore, but you're right. He at least can be in an alternate list or something when you combine his talent and if he gets 2 rings. And that's probably the difference between him and someone like Eli, right? Like Eli never really had any kind of outstanding talent, which is why he didn't get a whole lot of love, even though he has 2 rings. But Stafford has outstanding talent and 2 rings, and yeah, he at least gets in the honorable mention list probably.
Yeah. Oh, Jason, we don't even talk about Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning's on there regardless. Peyton and, in my personal opinion, Peyton and Tom are just stamped on there, and then you argue about their other 2.
Well, no, Joe Montana is
yeah. There's no argument about the other 2.
Yeah.
It's Montana and it's Bradshaw.
But yeah, Jansen,
Wait,
you got
on your Mount Rushmore, Terry Bradshaw?
He's got 4 Super Bowl rings.
He does. I guess I should put respect on Terry Bradshaw's name. Yeah.
You got 2 ball fans on here, Jansen. You don't got to worry about us respecting.
Oh, yeah.
That's built in,
Yeah.
baby.
I think we have to concede Brady would be the first head on the mountain.
Oh, yeah.
But Peyton and all his forehead glory would be second. So
Yeah.
Montana.
That is interesting because you're right. I don't think Terry Bradshaw would be on my list, and he should, but that would be tough to get that 4th name.
So who would be the 4th? If we all agree that Brady, Manning, and Montana are 3, then who is the 4th? Who's got and what's the criteria?
Yeah, that's the conversation. Is what is the criteria?
You can't say based on passing yards and passing touchdowns because the game that Terry Bradshaw and Joe Montana played and the game that Tom Brady and Peyton Manning and Matt Stafford and Patrick Mahomes play is 2 different NFLs.
Let's think about all-time greats. Troy Aikman, close or no?
He's got 3.
He's an honorable mention.
I was going to say Drew Brees.
Yeah, Drew Brees.
No, not for me.
I love Drew Brees.
Listen, if he had more rings, it'd be a different story because the numbers he put up are insane.
Yeah, again, I think you do have to have multiple to get on that Mount Rushmore for sure. Like that's got to be a criteria, in my personal opinion.
Yeah, I think in the modern, when I refer to modern, I mean in the last 10 years when the rules changed to where DBs can't even breathe on receivers without getting a flag. If you played in that era, you better have multiple rings.
Yeah.
I mean, when it's all said and done, Mahomes is the other one on the list, right? Like
he will be, I think. When it's all said and done.
You can't put him there yet because he's still active, but the answer is Mahomes. Like,
I think
the last one that comes to my mind as far one of the greatest with multiple, John Elway.
But he's got 2.
Yeah, but I mean, so you think Aikman over Elway because of the extra ring?
Well, and Elway was largely carried by Terrell Davis too, wasn't he?
I mean,
in the last year, yeah,
his
last
what
Super Bowl,
got him. TD and that defense is what got Elway over the hump.
No, I mean, I guess
he's one of the greatest quarterbacks ever played the game. He and Marino, Jim Kelly, Warren Moon, that whole group was phenomenal. But I just can't put him on there because of, and he didn't get him till late. And somebody could argue, well, Peyton didn't get his second one till late, and that's largely true.
Big Ben's another one. I mean, he's not going on my Rushmore.
No.
He's in top 10, maybe.
He's not on
12,
mine
maybe.
at all.
He's not on mine, but he's a name you could have to mention.
Yeah. I don't hate bringing him up, but he's not going to make it.
Yeah.
I mean, Bradshaw
I'm surprised we don't have
Super Bowl
coach in the chat on this one.
Like 6 years. And
I think it's probably got to be Bradshaw right now, and then once he retires, then Mahomes bumps him.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just, if anybody's got a better argument for somebody other than Bradshaw, I'm all ears.
Yeah, no, I think Bradshaw. I think you could argue Elway or Aikman. Elway's one of the, if he didn't have to play those 49ers every year, he would have had 4 or 5. It's just those 49ers were just different, man. They was a team that was just stacked every single year. Great quarterbacks, back to back, well coached. But it's kind of like the Bills. You mentioned that they couldn't get over the hump. And Elway's, you're potentially looking at like Josh Allen. Like if he can finally get there late in his career, he's one of the great quarterbacks, but just cannot get it done, and largely not on him. It's for a lack of defense. I don't think outside of last year you could argue his game wasn't great, but Josh Allen hasn't actually lost a game in the playoffs. The team has lost the games in playoffs, but Josh Allen himself hasn't actually lost a game. That dude is just balling out, and you give Patrick Mahomes the ball back with 30 seconds, and it's game over. Right? Defense can't do it. Yeah. It's just one of those things.
And that was what was so frustrating this year for Buffalo, and I'm a Josh Allen fan, so I was really hoping he would get through because, no Mahomes, no Lamar. It was all right there in front of him. And
right there, yeah.
They just absolutely wheels fell off the wagon. It was frustrating.
All right, we're losing Sass. Get on to some Kentucky talk so we can talk about them.
That's a good point.
I just don't watch a lot of NFL.
We know. Our bad. We got carried
away. I don't have time to watch it in the fall and stuff anyways, in the wintertime. So I watch Super Bowl, that's about it.
And it was the worst Super Bowl ever this year.
Yeah, it was.
It was a defensive showcase. Offensive terribleness.
So I played defense in college, right? So I appreciate a defensive showcase. That was just terrible offense.
Yes.
that was a terrible Super Bowl.
Well, yeah, we'll transition. It's been a week for Kentucky basketball. It's been a week for Kentucky football.
Drew.
Kentucky football getting great news.
Stein's out there recruiting his ass off.
I mean, sitting there in a top 10 recruiting class, Kentucky football, number 2 quarterback, commits. What he's doing on the football side is impressive. Now, you still have to win games. We'll see how that goes. But the hype around Stein time and the whole Feed the Studs initiative, Lexington's buzzing right now. And he is applying a lot of pressure to basketball. I don't want to make that kind of conversation, but what he's doing for the football, coming in very, very quickly and, did well in the portal, doing very well recruiting freshmen this class coming up. There's a lot of people saying I can't wait till football season. A lot of people saying I'm dreading basketball season right now, even though we don't have a full team and there's a lot of time left. It's definitely something to talk about, but for another show. Kentucky basketball this week in shambles. Not because we lost the player. It's how we lost the player, in my personal opinion. Selena, I want your take on this. I don't think personally, I like Donnie Freeman. He was a big body guy. There were some questions about his ability to play. There was some questions about his ability to fit in the system. I liked him. He was big. I wanted him on the team. No questions asked. Mainly because of his potential, and Pope and co. had obviously identified him very early as someone they wanted to go get, right? Not getting him, not super frustrating because he's not like a needle mover for me as far as like a piece on the team. Not getting him because we put so much time and resources into him, had a dude who fit the system, not as highly ranked, and Rancic in the building wanted to commit. We said, no, thank you. We want to go after this guy. Let him walk to FSU, and mismanaged the whole thing so badly that St. John's able to jump in there, offer him more money, and he goes and decides to go to play for what he says is the better coach and coach NBA guys. He's going to coach them hard. Those things aren't wrong. Maybe it's a little bit outdated as far as like the NBA draft guys, but it's not wrong. So that's what really frustrated me, was not the fact that we lost Donnie Freeman. It was the fact of how we lost Donnie Freeman. And so late in the game, we had no ability at this point to rebound unless we get lucky and some of these guys leave the draft and jump back into the portal. What are your thoughts on losing Donnie Freeman, how we lost him, the mismanagement, how I feel it was done? Could they have done anything different? Selena, floor is yours.
Yeah, I think they handled the Rancic stuff wrong. I like Rancic's game personally. I think he fits Pope's system a little better. than Freeman does. He's not as athletic as Freeman, and I get that. But I think overall his game fits Pope's system better. I hate how they handled it. They handled that completely wrong. They thought they had Freeman in the bag, and then apparently, according to some rumors, people in Freeman's camp were like, "Yeah, don't go to Kentucky, don't go to Pope. It's not going to work out for you." And then at that point, it was too late, and we lost. Rancic was already gone. It's not a good look at all. There's no really recovery from that either, because to be fair, the power forwards are kind of slim to none right now in the portal as far as like talent goes and stuff like that. So that was a big miss. I don't like how they handled it at all. I don't know. I think they should have went for Rancic and then from there. But
question for y'all. So you remember at the beginning of the season, there was all that potential strife in the locker room, beef in the locker room, whatever the case was going on. Any chance you think players who were in there this season who did have issues are hitting up some of the guys poking around at Kentucky like, hey, do I want to go there? And some of the dudes are like, nah, man, this ain't it. Is there any potential for that?
Honestly,
Go ahead,
I don't know if it's the players. It's going to sound really terrible. I think it's, oh God. Pope and Mark Fox seem to be really, really awkward, and they don't connect with players well. I think that's a lot of the problems too. I don't think it's former players, to be fair, because I mean I could see John Lowe doing it. He has been running his mouth a little bit on social media and kind of like taking
really
jabs.
I've missed all this.
He's been taking like little pokes about stuff, right? Like IG posts and stuff. Like,
that's why I haven't seen it, because once you leave Kentucky, unfollowed, bro. Sorry
he's been making like little pokes and stuff at that. But I think a lot of it is I don't think Fox and Pope relate to players right now at all. And I don't know. I don't know how you just drop the ball so much in one transfer portal season. Like, it's, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like we've been like, oh, this guy's going, and then all of a sudden you just go somewhere else. And you're like, we're like that meme where the guy's sitting there like this. Like, yeah.
So,
and plus we still don't have assistant coach. We're still missing one coach.
Yeah, I don't know.
So like what the hell is that about? Like, what are we doing with that one? Like, that also does not look good. The fact that we've not filled that coaching spot yet. Like, that's, to me, that's a red flag. If I'm a player, I'm like, where's the other coach at? Like, is it McLean?
Yeah, unless you're waiting on somebody specific.
Then give him if it's McLean, because McLean's been recruiting, right? He's been doing the recruiting along with Williams. If that's the case, then announce it. But that spot's still open, and that just doesn't. I just think it looks weird. I think it's a red flag.
I think it's McLean or it's Pope, who is still doing his thing with the Lakers right now. I believe, isn't he a video assistant with the Lakers? So I do think he's the one rumor to come back, and at that point you gotta wait. I guess maybe video assistant in the playoff. It's not weird if you announce he's going to be the coach. I don't know. Maybe there is. I don't think it's the players from the locker room, because they have largely dismissed that, even when they could have played into it, whether it was live and on Paramount Plus or it was on social media afterwards. They have downplayed largely Otega Owe, who was the locker room leader, saying like, we see it and we dismiss it. We know it's kind of BS, right? A lot of the players come out, even when they're not asked to, will talk positively on Pope. Like, and I'm not saying you get asked and you feel obligated. They initiate that conversation of how they feel about Pope. There has been the rumors of like, they're super weird. I personally think that's more played up on social media, because that's just the fun thing to do right now. I do think there is agents know Kentucky struggling in the portal late. Like, they go and get two very good guards. Wilkins and Zoom are very good guards. Those are two wins that fit Pope's system. They can play on ball, off ball. I like it a lot. You can look at their stats and go, well, they don't shoot well, but if you look deeper down into like catch and shoot ability and what they do well, they fit Pope's system. And then you go and you could get an ancillary piece or a starter, but someone who I wouldn't lean on and build a team around, but a guy you think will do well in Donnie. And similar to the Rob Wright thing, and it turned into be a Donnie Freeman thing where Kentucky is used as a way to ramp up and get you more money. And that is dangerous when people think you can't close. But if I get in the door at Kentucky and somebody else might be interested, okay, well, they got 3.5, give me 4 and I'm yours. And then we don't have the ability to counter, or we don't feel like we need to counter because of the other things we mentioned. He's missed 30 games in 2 years, paying him a bunch of money just to be a similar to JQ situation where he doesn't get on the floor a lot, invest a lot of money. You don't get a lot of return on that investment. So I don't have a problem with them compounding the situation by throwing more money at it and hoping he stays. I do have a problem with the ability to close, right? If the rumors are true, the reason why we let Rancic go is because we thought we had a commitment. What does that mean? You thought you had a commitment? Like if the kid says
you don't make the decision until you have one. Like you can't do
yeah,
that.
Exactly.
Like, that's just bad management.
The crap, I'm locking the door. Rancic, brother, you got a trip to Tallahassee. You're going to be late. You ain't going nowhere until this dude signs the contract because you're number 2, right? It's like, it's not happening. Or you tell him, like, there would have been no problem if you had signed Rancic and then Donnie walks, right? Everybody would have been like, hey, they didn't want to play together. It's okay. We got somebody. And yes, Rancic was the number 2 option. It doesn't mean you can't still go find someone. If someone that hits the portal, you can pay money. You can still go get somebody, right? It's not like you have to settle on this guy. But the fact that I don't understand what that means is they thought they had a commitment. Like if the kid told you I want to play here, awesome. Get the agent on the phone. Let's get this worked out right now, because then all those other problems would have solved themselves. Unless the agent also said like, yeah, we got a deal, and then St. John's came in and whatever, some weirdness happened there. But again, you ink the deal and then the others can walk, right? There's got to be a way to manipulate this or manage this better. And I know a lot of people think a GM would have helped that situation. Keegan Brown, like, what are you doing, dog? Like, you're the roster management guy. Sure, we don't have an official GM, but that should kind of be what you're doing, dude. So I don't know. Like, Pope is going to get all the jabs, right? Because he's the head coach. He bears the weight on the shoulders. Heavy is the head type thing. But there's other things going on, the Mitch Barnhart situation and the governor coming out saying that there's some corrupt weirdness going on. Like there's a lot of behind the scenes things that I think are holding Pope back, and him not being a Calipari or a Shire or a Patino, one of these known names that can close a recruiting deal when, everybody else drowns out the noise because, hey, I'm talking to a Hall of Fame coach or maybe a future Hall of Fame coach. I think that hurts Pope. Honestly, there's a lot of negative recruiting going on with Pope right now, and he hasn't found a way to combat it. I think that's the biggest problem.
That is the problem.
Yeah, and I don't know what the answer is. I have to put faith in that there is a plan, right? If I'm putting faith in Pope right now, it is we identified Donnie Freeman as our guy. Yes, we mismanaged the situation. We let another team get in there late, offering a bunch of money. But we had this, what's it called? Depot HQ. What's that daggum thing we got, Selena? That like system.
Evan Maya, whatever. The system that like ranks people and like it's whatever Michigan used. What Michigan used this year to help.
Yeah, the football team's been using it. Essentially, it's this tool that helps with roster management, and it's kind of like a salary cap thing where, hey, this is what a player's worth, and this is what we should pay. This is too much. So if they put all that junk in a calculator and was like, here are the pros, here are the cons, and no, he does not rate $4 to $4.5 million allegedly, and you move on, there has to have been a plan. Whether that is, since we've been on the show, we haven't missed the Tyron Stokes commitment, right?
He's
still available?
He was trolling earlier.
He's still available. He said commitment soon, I think. But as far as I know, he's still available.
He got a Kentucky Muhammad Ali tattoo, showed it off, and then in the background of the TV that was playing on his IG was a Wildcat game.
When did this happen? I missed all this fun stuff.
You did.
Okay.
I'll send you a picture. Hold on.
Okay. But again, Tyron Stokes still out there. So maybe that money is transitioned. It was just a little bit, a little cherry on the top of here's it. We have more money now. Milan is out there. Milan, however you say his name, potentially going to leave the draft. Tunde, did I say his name right? Out of Baylor.
Tunde Yusufe or whatever. Yeah,
I wouldn't even better try the last name, but he's now available. So I'm hoping that there was a plan in place. That's all we can really do at this point. McBride is on campus currently. I think he's a great power forward piece. I don't think he's a starting power forward. He proves me wrong. He's got a great game, but I think he still has some development before we could throw him in there in the SEC and expect to be, a starting four for Kentucky. But a lot of rambling, a lot of going on to say, like, you have to identify there's currently a problem. Now, can it be fixed? Yes, because there's still players available. But with all the momentum on our side, you could have really had 3 players to build around, maybe even a Stokes commitment later on. And now we feel like we're cooking. And right now, what we see is Tennessee crushing it in the portal. On paper, Louisville's doing well in the portal. They're spending a lot of money. They get a lot of names. I don't know how those things mesh together. We shall see. They are still, in my personal opinion, lacking like a dude. Like, they don't have a Mikael Brown, like, go get on this team. They don't have a Hepburn on this team. So we'll see how that goes. But they're at least getting players, great players from the portal who will fit well together, and they can still add to it. So we're seeing our 2 rival basketball schools do very, very well in the portal or bringing folks back. We're seeing Florida retain talent and get talent. It's just we got a lot of things going on around us, and Kentucky's not doing a lot at the moment. So something needs to change so that the fan base can kind of relax a little bit. Because I also do think this is not a popular take, but I do think all that craziness from BBN plays into some of this recruitment too. Maybe just a little bit, but I do think it plays.
Vic and I had a lively conversation about that.
We'll share with the family
on the radio, actually, because I kind of tend to err with you on that the fan base is a little rabid, and I wouldn't be surprised if that does play a role in it. And Vic thought I was nuts by his comment right there. So, but here's a problem, especially on the radio. So yes, it happens everywhere. That's not a thing, but the minority is so much louder in the BBN than most people's majority because we're such a large fan base, and that's the problem.
Yeah, and Coach, no one's saying it's BBN's fault. I'm not saying it's BBN's fault. I'm saying though that BBN has more people out there on the internet tagging players and saying some absolute heinous shit than other fan bases, right? And if we truly believe that it's 10 years ago and these players aren't seeing it or don't care, you're ignorant. That's how I believe. Like, it is 100% being seen. Now, are these players mentally tough enough to be like, these people are stupid, I'm going to go bowl out here and prove them wrong? Maybe, hopefully. But it 100% is seen. Does it have an effect? I can't tell you that, but I do know it's seen. We hear players talk about it, right? We have Tyron Stokes responding to Kentucky fans in his DM saying, like, dog, I'm 18, man. Let me chill out while I try to make the biggest decision of my life, right? So, like, it's being seen. So does it have an effect? I don't know. My personal opinion is it's got to play somewhat. Is it our fault is it BBN's fault that they freak out because we lose Donnie Freeman? No, that's a basketball front office problem. But is it our fault that we signed Braden Hawthorne and maybe signing his brother was like the cherry on top to not have him go in the portal? And instead of just celebrating that we got this stud top 30 recruit, no, we have fan bases, coming at the family about how terrible this kid is. And this is a joke. It's Kentucky basketball. He doesn't deserve to be on this team. That's our fault. That is 100% our fault. And it's kind of ridiculous. So, you can say what you want about the fan base doesn't have an effect. I think there's an argument to say it might have a little one.
I don't understand what Peanut Butter was saying. He said Tennessee and Louisville are crushing it because their fan bases don't see basketball as a be-all, end-all. What do our fan bases have to do with what we did in the portal?
I think my guess would be Peanut Butter Posse. It's a great name. I'm assuming like we are just more like basketball means more to us. Maybe is what he's trying to say. But I even if basketball meant nothing to Tennessee, you guys are still dominating the world at the moment.
Right. That's what I'm saying. And I can't really speak for Louisville, but that's pretty much what they live and breathe too, isn't it? I mean, that's a state of Kentucky thing, really.
Yes, I would agree. I do think, especially as they've survived the Kenny Payne era, like, I mean, PK is still having issues, even with his success of late. I would argue him and Popes have similar flaws, and they're not winning in the postseason, which is most important. They're both probably on a hot seat this year. But even with him being able to win games and bring the back, go look at their state. I mean, he's walking through the campus begging fans to come fill up the Yum Center. So I do think they have focused more on Brom and football. They obviously love basketball. I won't say they won't, but I do think there's been a transition. And you know what? Like I just mentioned, Stein might do that thing if we're going through another drought in basketball. If Stein is getting us into the top 15 category, consistently being ranked, and even at the cusp of college football playoff, like
my God.
I'm not saying we're there. Don't hear what I'm not saying. It's if he gets us there and we're struggling with basketball, I could definitely see this fan base, a Kentucky fan base like me, who has been like dying for a great football team, to be like, I'm just going to put a lot of focus in football, and basketball will eventually get to where it is because we're Kentucky, right? That's what Louisville thinks. It'll eventually get back to where it was because we're Louisville. We're a once great program. I'm just saying I could see Kentucky fans putting a lot more focus into football and Stein, and we have issues filling up Rupp maybe this year or next year, Pope's still around type thing. Is that crazy to say?
I'm curious. Hammer, on that note, but the inverse, obviously Tennessee, 98% of our fan base lives and breathes football, but we're right on the cusp in basketball. And obviously, like, the donor base seems to be going all in basketball. Is there potential that more of the fan base turns our attention to basketball? And like, hey, football will need to work itself out here in a couple of years, but we're so close in basketball. Let's focus on that.
I think
I know what I think the answer is, but I'm curious of your opinion.
Yeah, well, I think we saw 3/4 of the way through the football season this year, there was a lot more excitement around the basketball program and the talent that they had, because this is one of Rick Barnes' most talented teams, not necessarily one of his best teams, but talent-wise, on paper, it was one of his better, quality player teams. So I think we saw a little bit of shift in that, this year after coming off two, Elite Eight performances. I think there was more buzz around it. And I don't disagree with the amount of money that clearly has been put behind the program this transfer cycle, and what we've been able to get so far. Still not done, by the way.
Juke, right? Juke's the missing piece is what you're trying to land?
I think he might be the last infinity stone. Yes, we still got to have a big, but Juke is still slightly favored to come to Tennessee over Michigan right now by the experts. So we'll see. And then, of course, Nate Amin is still kind of, 50-50. His camp actually released something today saying that it's really going to depend on where he feels he's going to be taken if he were to go in the draft, because he could probably go as high as 12 to OKC because they've got basically a free first-round pick thanks to the Clippers, and he could go possibly as low as 19 to Charlotte. Well, I think if he's going to fall outside of that lottery range at 15 or lower, that he's probably coming back to school for another year, which would probably be good anyway, because he would very much be in the conversation for the number one pick, because next year's class isn't going to be quite
not nearly as
this year's was. So I think
insane.
there's some smoke to that, or excuse me, some fire to that smoke that we've been hearing for a few weeks. But said all that to say, no, I don't disagree, T. I think there is probably, because I think everybody Tennessee football fan world recognizes it's going to be very difficult to go in and have a 10-2 record or better with A, the schedule we have, and B, our quarterback situation. I'm not going to say we chalk this year up because that defense is going to be pretty formidable, but I don't think the expectation is as high for football as it is for basketball, and therefore I agree with you, T. I think there's more buzz around basketball right now than there is football. But, Randall, I will say this concerning Kentucky and Louisville. If Rick Pitino has been your coach at any point, you're a basketball school.
Yes.
That's pretty valid.
I don't disagree with you.
Not to say that you can't have a good football program or you can't get excited about your football program, but there is, I see in no way, shape, or form football ever overtaking basketball at Kentucky. And I don't really see that at Louisville either.
But I do see
basketball schools.
I mean, Indiana's a prime example, though, right? I feel like it can happen anywhere in this day and age.
In this landscape, yeah, if you throw enough money at it, we'll see, because nobody's spending more money in any sport right now than Texas Tech. So we'll see if
they're bleeding money. It's insane.
Because oil money is way different than cow money or chicken money
or horse money
or horse money or gas station money. I mean, let's be honest. Oil money is different planet.
It's different tax brackets completely.
So we'll see in a year or two if money is the complete and sole answer. Because if it is, then Texas Tech's going to win everything.
Mm-hmm.
So we know that Kentucky is a basketball school, right? And we know Tennessee is a football school. That will never change. But maybe what your focus is on in a particular year.
Yeah, that's
100%.
And
to me, it's probably like where is your fan base most excited about in the summer when there is nothing in season? So I feel like we're Tennessee and we just can't help it with football. But I feel like we'll be prepared to shift our focus off of football much sooner, right? Like usually at Tennessee, you don't really care until December unless you're like a hoop head like me or Juice or something. Everybody only cares about football. And then, the inverse for Kentucky, like they can't wait for basketball season to start. But now Kentucky fans are so frustrated with basketball. They're like, let's see how this football season plays out. And we're a little frustrated with football, but I think more just excited about basketball because we're on the cusp. Maybe people are willing to turn for one season, both of what you mentioned, like kind of some anticipated struggles with football this year. Like, yeah, I'm ready to turn to basketball in October. Much 2 months sooner than I usually do.
Yeah. 100%. And when football's in that position, it makes it easier for people to create more buzz around basketball, especially when you have a class coming in. When you look at transfers plus, high school recruits coming in, then it's really easy to get excited about that and kind of take some of that focus off of football.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you talk about Louisville being a basketball school. I just looked it up. Since Pat Kelsey's been there, all the buzz around Pat Kelsey at Louisville, runner-up as ACC tournament year one, finally gets a tournament win year two. They have had one official sellout, and that was against Kentucky at the Yum Center. They played Duke, they played North Carolina, they play a lot of big schools. One official sellout in the Yum Center since Pat Kelsey's been there. And if you go back to the Kenny Payne era, you ain't finding any during that time frame unless you play Kentucky. So if you go through long droughts, and then you get a good guy in there. Just to what T said, Jeff Brom has done well at Louisville, and consistently just put them in the conversation. Now, there has been disappointing losses, but again, they're always in the conversation. ACC championship, college football playoff since he's been there. So if Stein can do that in 2 years, and Pope is still the coach, but he's not getting success, it'll always swing back to basketball because we will find a guy to bring us back. But Stein can very much get this fan base into being thinking we're a football school for a short period of time.
Yeah,
and
if he does disagree with that, yeah, and
if he does do the full Signetti thing, I mean, holy shit! Like that would be incredible. It would break my heart because, as much as I love football, I don't know how you balance the scales to do both. I don't think we've seen it yet. Maybe Michigan, since they just recently won a football title and a basketball title. Maybe they're the closest thing in this NIL era. If I got to pick one, or I mean, if I only can pick one, and football's on the up right now. If I'm a Kentucky fan, I think I just start going in that direction and pushing that way. And really, it's where's the money go? Like you said, Hammer. But what's the latest news on Juke? I've seen a lot of Michigan buzz lately, but you said it seems like the lean is still Tennessee per whatever insiders. Do you know when a commitment's going to come? Secondary visit's going to happen? Like what's the latest on Juke and when do you think he commits?
Well, I think he's still got a little toe in the water on the NBA process. So I haven't seen his name very high on very many draft boards, and by very many, I mean none. So I don't really know. I can't see that being an option for him. It may be more he's buying himself some time. And, and keep in mind, too, and we've talked about it, it's not a secret. It's not these kids solely making this decision. They've got, influences from like agents or representation, their camps, their families. So, it's not just solely Juke hadn't made up his mind. There's a lot of moving parts to this, and certainly financial is going to be part of that conversation and decision. We all know that. So I don't know. Me personally, I don't have really a feeling about it either way, to be honest. And some of the projections I've seen have been very marginal, like 53-47 kind of stuff. So basically, coin flip at this point, but everybody still kind of favors the lean to be Tennessee. And I don't think he goes pro. I think he stays in college.
Yeah. I'm Joshy Boy nailed it. I've seen him like in the 20s. So really it's about what does he want? Has his goal always been to just be a first round guy? Is that good enough for him?
Right.
Does he want to be lottery? I would assume with how good he is, and with a weaker class next year, you come back to college, have a good season, boom, I'm up in the lottery. So I'm not an insider. I don't know anything, but my expectation would be that he would come back to college. And yeah, it's maybe 53-47, Tennessee, Michigan, but kind of like we make fun of the whole 50-50 adage. Like,
yeah,
he's going to choose either Michigan or Tennessee. And we got to see which one it is. It's probably my bias thinking the lean is our way. But I do think the Jaden Harrelson signing plays in our favor because supposedly Juke wants to play with him, play with Harrelson. So that helps, and that may be the potential extra little 3%. And then, hey, Jansen, no, we're talking about Juke. So with Nate Ament, to Hammer's point earlier, his camp has actually expressed like, hey, we're torn on going to the NBA. Because I don't think he's comfortably high enough in the lottery for the NBA to be a no-brainer anymore, the way we've assumed it always would be. And the reports out there, he loves Rick Barnes. He really likes being a college student. He really loves Tennessee. So there are a lot of things pulling at him from his own personal feelings to come back to Tennessee. But the NBA is still very much so in play, but I don't think it's the 90-10 sure that he's going to the NBA that we once thought it was. So Juke and Nate, obviously the super big fish. We had a big man from Kennesaw State on campus today, which, everybody hears Kennesaw State and they think, oh, no big deal or whatever. But he was the Georgia 6A player of the year 2 years ago. He's got a lot of ability. Sounds like he maybe just wanted to stay close to home. And Knoxville's still only like 3.5 hours from where he's from. He just gives you, I think, some good bench depth, a little pogo stick, bouncing around, trying to block some shots around the basket. So I don't know if we've signed him or not, but there's still, we still got to get a Felix replacement. So I think Barnes is still looking for that too.
Yeah, we have to have a rim protector, period.
Yeah.
I don't have any insight on Nate Ament. I will say I will once again say I don't understand what the NBA does and how they prospect and draft if he falls out of the 12. If OKC doesn't look at him and go, this is a perfect fit for our team for us to continue to dominate the league, I just won't understand it. And their GM just doesn't seem like the guy to make that mistake. He just doesn't.
Well, and, I think Devanza probably at this point is foregone consensus going to be the first pick.
Yes.
And then –
well, isn't he announcing tomorrow too or something like that? He said he's going to have some kind of announcement tomorrow.
Yeah, he's a big announcement on IG Live. Like, we know you're going to the league, dude. I don't know what's the big announcement about it. But.
Yeah, but I think after Devanza, I think probably like Caleb Wilson and then
I don't
obviously
get that.
Yaxel. And then I think it's Nate when you're talking about that forward wing type player. I don't see how he wouldn't be top 15. But
I am taking Nate Ament over Caleb Wilson every day.
Yeah, but
he's not as athletically gifted.
Happen. Yeah,
he's like he doesn't like the only thing Nate Ament or that Caleb Wilson has over Nate Ament is like a finishing hammer dunk, right? Like he doesn't shoot as well. He can't stretch the floor. He just more athletically gifted. He can jump higher.
And I would say he's more aggressive on the boards.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
But Nate did start developing that mentality towards the end of the year. He started getting blocks, more rebounds, and all that. So it was getting there.
Yeah. I don't disagree. I think that's something that stands out probably more to scouts is him being a little more aggressive on the board. So really, it's Wilson, it's Lindenborg, and it's Ament. I think are the top guys at that position. It's just a matter of are the teams that are drafting, which I think Milwaukee definitely at 10 would probably look at him. I feel like Oklahoma City absolutely could take him because even if they take him as a prospect or a project or a development player, they can afford to do that. So I'm having a hard time seeing him not go, 12th or better.
Well, because
apparently there's a consensus out there that he could fall as far as like 18 or 19.
I just thought that the NBA always drafts on potential, and like Nate Ament's potential is like kind of through the roof, and like how he's built, right? Like he's got a great NBA build. So, random
Nate
question:
Ament 2 or 3 years from now, when he really fills out and it starts hitting his prime, he's gonna be dangerous,
problem.
man.
Yeah.
And I want that on my team right now.
Yeah, he will definitely be a problem. I'm very chalant tonight, Joey.
I don't necessarily know if it's about him falling all the way out of the lottery, as opposed to being top 7 type thing.
Yeah,
because next year he
will absolutely be that next year.
Yeah, he'd be like a lock to be top 3 at first.
If you're Nate Ament and you're his family. You just saw a scary ankle. I missed some time. It bothered me during the tournament. Like that's gotta play, right? Like I could have a top 10 pick now, maybe 12 at the worst. I could be number 1 next year, but there's a lot of basketball I gotta play, and there's some risk there too, right?
I agree.
Yeah.
Now let me qualify all this with I still think he's going to the league. I'm not trying to convince anybody that he's coming back. I'm just trying to express some of the considerations that are supposedly out there that could potentially bring him back. I still think he's gone though.
Yeah, and T and I have been on this pretty much all season that we think he's going, and all this conversation about staying is nice, and he loves Rick Barnes, and 100% true. I don't because he's got very high character and an incredibly just mature and well put together, well spoken young man. But if you're going to be outside the lottery range, he could probably make just as much money playing college basketball. And
this is a good
to
point,
your point with the injury, yeah, he got nicked up the ankle, but who's to say he doesn't blow a knee out in training camp over the summer?
But that contract's already guaranteed, though, right? I got 4 years already
Not
guaranteed.
outside the lottery, it's not.
No, not outside the lottery. But I'm saying if we believe, my personal belief, on May 10th, I think is the NBA Combine, sometime early May, when he does his thing in front of GMs and he starts doing workouts like that, that dude is going to be a top 10 pick guaranteed, and he'll start top 8. He's going to start clicking off, and teams are going to start fighting for him, trading up for him. That's my opinion. Once he gets in front of dudes and he plays there, I think he's just going to start going. This reminds me a lot, Selena, of the Reed Shepherd thing, right? Reed Shepherd potentially coming back. We hire Pope. He played with his daddy. Oh, Reed's coming back.
Yeah,
and next thing you know,
everybody thought that was a lock.
Yeah, and all of a sudden we're like, wait, Reed's going 3rd overall. Like, he's protected to now. He ain't coming back. There's zero chance. But we had like a good month and a half window of like, oh, Reed might actually come back.
Yeah,
and that wasn't even close, right?
But the issue for Nate with that is he's got to make a decision by Friday.
Yeah.
So.
Well,
really, why?
What decision by
That's
Friday?
the deadline. Whether he enters the draft or not.
Right, but he can enter and then still withdraw his name next month.
Yeah.
So it's actually been a surprise to me that he hadn't just gone ahead and declared, because you can pull yourself back out all the way through next month.
Yeah, and
now the rule is you can declare. You can't have an official agent or something. There's a weird, or it used to be that way. Maybe it's different now with NIL. And wasn't there something like you could declare and do the process, but there was like a rule, like if you did this certain thing, then you couldn't come back.
It used to be
you couldn't hire an
agent, but now everyone has an agent, so that's kind of
gotcha.
Null and void.
Yeah.
Hey, Peanut Butter Posse, are you also in the Catechins chat? I swear to God, you are. Random, I know that name's just like clicking in my head, so I wanted to ask.
Yeah. Now you just have to withdraw. That's the only. That's the only thing now. You have to withdraw by a certain date.
Yeah, just a date cutoff. That's it.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, that's changed because of NIL.
I've been holding on to this one too, and we got some Kentucky fans now brewing up in the chat. Coach put this out there. It's been it's been news last couple days. Billy Donovan steps down. He doesn't take a job. We kind of knew that there wasn't anything available once North Carolina went to Mike Malone. I do think if there could be any more pressure added to Pope, that it does add some. I think he was already on the hot seat anyways. Billy Donovan's name being floated out there being the rumors that he is interested. We had talked about this. Hammer, all of us might have been on the show, but I know me and Hammer had this conversation. It might have been just us on a couple shows ago, where we said we could see Billy Donovan taking a step back for a year because Pope is going to be on the hot seat. If he doesn't perform, he's probably going to get let go. And we think at best Bill Self has one more year left, right? So if he does want to coach, you have two blue blood schools, Kansas, Kentucky. You can argue which one's a better program, which one has a better NIL structure, which one works better. But those are two great schools that are potentially going to be coming up next year available. Doesn't make sense to rush back in the North Carolina thing if you don't want to be there. There's also the wrench in the wheel of, does Todd Golden go to the NBA? Right, there's some teams now potentially looking for a coach. The Bulls, maybe Golden State. So does he leave Florida and Billy Donovan can go back and take his throne in Gainesville?
Has anybody had success going from college to the NBA?
Brad Stevens has.
Yeah, Brad. I would say Stevens, who's currently he's the GM right now of the Celtics, former coach, right?
The Celtics were good, but yeah, I mean, he had success. He didn't win a championship, but they were good at least.
I mean, if you go back and look at what Rick Pitino did in the Knicks, he was successful. I mean, he kind of fell off there, but I mean, he didn't do bad with the Knicks. If he stuck around, maybe he could get him there. But Calipari didn't do well with the Jets.
And great coaches have egos, right? So even if there's not a huge track record of success, they're probably like, well, I'm the one who can set the mold. So maybe that's not as much of a deterrent as I was thinking.
But why are we so sure that Williams will even come back to college though?
No, I'm not. I have my reservations.
Like, bring him back. And I'm like, he's been out of college for 20 plus years at this point, right? Like, it's been 20 years. The game is completely different than what even getting people like recruiting is completely different. Like, that's all so much different now. Like,
But I do have my concerns. Negotiations are more like the NBA, so
yes,
he's used to it.
Yep.
Right, but they have GMs in the NBA that do that though for them, right? The coaches don't do that.
I don't know how much the coaches actually negotiate these contracts with NIL anyway.
Well, UK Pope is doing it apparently, so
that may be a problem.
That's why we're here where we are, Hammer.
I think you remove the may from that sentence.
Okay, well, Pope is doing it now currently, and his is why we're having issues what we're having.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because we've talked about it, Rando, and I thought if he were to leave and I don't know why he stayed and went down with the ship in Chicago, but
ego.
I guess maybe it is ego, but I think if he had wanted the North Carolina job, he would have just left, and he probably would have been hired the next day. So that didn't happen. I agree with you. I think he takes a year off. I think he waits to see what happens at a few of these big-time programs. And if he wants to coach, he will have his pick.
Yeah. I'm just not so sure he wants to coach anymore. Like, he might just be done with it, too.
He may.
He just might be like, I'm out. I'm done with coaching.
Because the NBA has not been kind to Billy Donovan. He looks rough.
Oh, he's aged 40 years.
By Coach Evans, who knows how much longer Izzo has up at Michigan State, too.
Yeah, that's another one.
Yeah, that's a good point, Coach.
And I do think he'll have to come in and just he ain't correct. Josh Boy, you can get up out of here with that comment. Jansen makes a good point. You bring him in and just let him coach. Don't make him manage too much. Mm-hmm. You go back to what we just talked about a little bit ago. I do think coaches nowadays going to the NBA will have more success because the NIL thing and managing players is going to be more similar to the NBA. And those egos kind of have to get in check where it's not like, all right, my coach is making X dollars, but my 2-star players are making 10X me. They're kind of already dealing with that now. So I do think if you're a good coach, you can maybe transition to the NBA a little bit easier than you could in the past. I have reservations about Billy Donovan coming back from being gone for so long. But I also have reservations about Mike Malone never doing it before. And he's coming into UNC, and at least on paper right now, he's putting together a squad. He's not having trouble recruiting in an area of Chapel Hill where noted NIL problems, and he's still getting it done. So being in the NBA and talking league to these kids who want to get to the league, I think that plays. So I don't know. I've seen a lot of Matt Norlander was talking on his show. He asked a question like, if tomorrow you had the ability to fire Pope and bring in Billy Donovan, what would you do?
Everyone would do it. Everybody would do it.
You think they would do it?
Absolutely. Absolutely, I do. I mean, I think they would do it. And I don't think I think they would do it. One, he's obviously won 2 championships, right? Like he's the friend of the past. But also, I think it would turn the heat down on the angst and the anger of the fan base.
Oh, for sure. And he would get him past year one because he's coming in super late.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think that's what I think. I think it would change a lot just because of that. The fan base would chill. They'd be super happy again. There'd be less pressure on the administration and overall, right? Like they would do it in a heartbeat.
That's not going to happen though, right?
It's not going to.
Yeah.
No.
Not at all.
I could see it happening next year. But then again, I think the conversation next year is, do you take the former Kentucky assistant national championship coach, who been there, done that, but he done that a long time ago? Or do you take a Jai Lucas?
I would rather have Jai Lucas
at Miami, crushing the portal, up on the rise type guy. He hasn't been there and done that. He's not like a Calipari on the rise where he got to the Final Four with teams just couldn't get over the hump. He's still kind of a wild card, right? He's got all this talent. He could have a drop off in coaching next year. Who knows? So that one's tough. I do think if I had to, like, life on the line, make a decision based off of this is all recency bias, because if I go back and if I go back and look at what he did year one and what he did in the portal last year, I shouldn't be panicking right now. But based off of just recent non-success, I think I would make the decision. Go land me Tyron Stokes, and I changed my mind. Fuck it. Go land me Tyron Stokes, Pope. Just do the thing, man.
He's not coming here, Rando.
Don't
not coming to Kentucky.
Don't TJ Walker me right now. All right.
I'm just saying. If he would, I think here's the thing. I think we would have had, if we would have any other coach except Pope, I think he would have already committed to Kentucky. I really do. But I don't think Pope has the. Jansen, you're right. Absolutely.
Yeah. We talked about that a little bit ago.
Overall, the inner working in the UK is a disaster.
To go back to Billy Donovan for just a second, I think there could be another player in that Billy Donovan sweepstakes that we haven't mentioned. Could be St. John's.
You think Pitino hangs it up?
I think he might. And Billy Donovan's from New York.
I could see Pitino being a GM somewhere.
Here's what I do know. Life on the line. We get rid of Marcus Pope and turn to Ricky Pitino. Yeah, I'm taking that right now. Right now. And that's even seeing that he has had very good teams. He's been a 2 seed and lost to Calipari, and when he shouldn't have, and he has arguably not have had the postseason success that he should have had with the teams that he has had at St. John's and the way he came into this postseason. And after he just burned Pope with Donnie, that bum, I'd still be like, "Hey, Ricky, come back right now. Open arms. Come on, buddy. Let's do this thing one more again at Kentucky." I would have way more faith in that, even though he has underachieved recently. You could argue he's one I would welcome back right away.
He's underachieved for UK standards. He's overachieved for St. John standards.
Yeah.
That's the difference is.
Yes.
UK standards completely underachieved. St. John's, they're happy as shit over there right now with what he's doing.
But what he has done the last couple of years has been status quo for what Kentucky has done the last couple of years in postseason. So,
yep. Peanut Butter Posse. I'm convinced that someone put a curse on UK, and I saw this tweet the other day, and I forgot who did it. I think it was Kyle Tucker put it out that Calipari must have made a deal with the devil when in the game when Anthony Davis went down and then got back up again. We thought he broke his ankle. Remember how bad it was?
I think it was knee. I think it was his knee
or somebody. It looked like it was bad, and he got back up again.
It was bad.
And then since then, things have went straight to shit. It's just getting worse and worse and worse. So, like, who cursed us? We need the witches to assemble, okay, and undo it. Send it like back to sender type of shit, because this is insane.
Oh, man. And no, I think it goes back to what we talked about. And unfortunately, the administration has just gotten worse and worse and worse. And Capilouto continues to just
Bears had the same.
Mentally not be there. And Mitch Barnhart is just not great. And
I think Mitch is running the show overall, if you ask me.
No, that's dangerous.
Because
dangerous. And that would answer the question of why we haven't been great in basketball for a while, or really, even in the football drop off to what we thought we were getting at the stage of a stupid era.
He does whatever he wants, and Eli's like, "Oh yeah, sure, whatever Mitch wants."
Eli doesn't care about sports is the problem.
Well, no. Here's the thing. Here's the thing, though. Like right now, the university is bleeding money. And sports are like the one thing that can kind of keep it in balance, right? Like that's the one thing that could kind of keep that, because it's bad. It's like they are bleeding money. They are shortfalls and pitfalls everywhere across the board as far as like their money goes, revenue goes. And Mitch is running amok, doing whatever he wants to do, and Eli's like, "Oh, cool, whatever." It's like Mitch is blackmailing him or something. I don't know. Like, it doesn't make any sense because it's
Mitch
so
shouldn't be
bad.
blackmailing anybody. Mitch got more skeletons in his closet than anything.
But that's why he's doing it though, because he has the skeletons. He's like, well, I can't get mine out, so I'm gonna hold everyone else over their head.
No.
Like that's
Yeah.
It's just, it doesn't make any sense. Like, it's like it just needs to be all burned down and rebuilt.
Well, let me ask you guys something. Would you take 10 years in the wilderness in basketball for a football natty?
Oh, yes. Kentucky football natty?
Yes.
For 10 years? Now, do I get Kentucky basketball back afterwards? Like, we can build back up afterwards?
Sure.
Here's the problem,
Yes.
though. I don't know
Taking
if you'd be able to build it back up after 10 years.
Oh, yeah. There's going to be a coach, there's money. We'll be fine. 10. Wait, does it already count? Does the last 6 already count? Or I got to do 10 more?
No.
Oh, that's harder. Dang it.
I don't know.
Let's
Like
see.
right
I'm
now,
35.
if you could say we will win, Stein will take us to the national championship in the next X years, then Kentucky basketball has to be 10 years in the wilderness.
Damn, I'll be 45 before I see Kentucky win it again. Now, you said take us to a championship. We win it?
Yeah, football wins a national championship,
I think I'm taking it.
but basketball has to
taking
go in the tank for 10 years. Would Kentucky fans would they be okay with that? The fan base?
No.
They would not for the whole decade. I'm an answer for them. Like,
No.
Yeah.
they'll be cool for 3-4 years and be like, well, at least we got
maybe
I don't
3
think
years.
I don't
Yeah.
think that long. I think
No.
one season, maybe 2, and the second season they will go back to we should burn the football program down,
Yes.
and because we want our basketball back.
Yeah.
Maybe, but
Like,
for that
there's
2
no-
years,
there's
floating
no
a
way.
natty in football, man. Oh,
Like,
that would be awesome.
Some of them are only football people, and I get that. But the favorites overall, absolutely not. No. Kentucky basketball is like it's part of the lifeblood of Kentucky. If you're a UK fan, like this, it literally makes people like happy and makes them breathe. If that makes any sense. And there's no way. You get maybe 3 years tops.
There it is. If we don't make a Final Four, we're in the wilderness anyway, so it doesn't matter.
You know what? You're right.
And Hammer, that's kind of what I was getting at when I was asking about us, because I think we do. If it was the flip side, like we get a basketball natty and football is just wandering around doing whatever, I think we last a little longer than Kentucky basketball fans, but we wouldn't last a decade in football either, particularly because we just had to go through it, like and without basketball success. So that would help, but I don't think we would make another 10 years in the wilderness of football.
No, I would burn down every stadium on campus and take all the money that the athletic department generates and give it to the football team.
Yeah, I would just.
It wouldn't happen.
Yeah,
I
for
would be fine.
whatever your school is, which the SEC, every school is football except for Kentucky. Nobody could do it. Like, because watch Florida. You know, Florida just won, and their fans are not going to be able to stand this if football continues to be what it was this year. Like, Florida fans are going to lose their mind. That basketball natty is not going to hold them over very long.
Nope.
No. And as much as that's my school. That's where I went to school. I love the university. I love all the sport teams. I want everybody to do well. But given the option of consistently winning and competing in football versus not funding anything else, I would do it.
That's the key right there, Jake.
Yeah, and I feel the same way. Like I football is my favorite sport. It is. I love it. But when it comes to the University of Kentucky, like I get upset when Kentucky football loses, especially the last couple of years with Stoops.
Sure.
Like I get upset. I lose sleep. I throw things. I do things that grown men shouldn't do, pouting about a Kentucky basketball loss.
Right.
Right.
So that tells me
bad.
your basketball program is king.
It is. But golly, just to think to be like Indiana right now. Like I'm one of the dudes in my wedding. He's a Navy pilot. He's a massive IU fan, right? He is so pissed off about Indiana basketball, and he'll go back to that when they continue to suck. But his level of excitement, he was in shock. Like I was texting him, he's like, I cannot believe that I'm buying Indiana football national championship stuff right now.
Yeah,
right.
I'm with you.
To have that feeling, to have that high at Kentucky because no one believes it, right? We see Will Stein doing something, and maybe we're doing something special, but no one, we are excited, but I don't think anybody actually believes we're going to be sitting there as a top 5 team, or going into the college football playoff yet. He's got to do it first. But if you're telling me I get to experience that, because I'm 100%, if we get there, I'm going to be there, and I get to celebrate a football national championship. Like you said, within 3 years, I'm going to go back to breaking things because we need to be better at basketball. But that moment, man, it would be incredible.
UK fans, listen, UK fans would literally, they would celebrate it. They'd be like, okay, well, why can't basketball do this? That's how fast.
That's 100%.
Like this.
That's 100%. Selena.
They'd be like, okay, well, why can't basketball do this? What's the problem with basketball?
Immediately, you'd see all over Twitter. Well, why can't Pope do that, or whoever the coach is at the time?
Because as Jake
why can't
says,
they do that?
people live and breathe for Kentucky basketball. They love football. They're happy about football, but they think basketball is on our minds 24/7, 365.
Yep.
Like, it just is what it is.
Yeah, it's like Duke. I mean, when their football team's good, everybody loves it, but they don't. Ultimately, the basketball team is where they want to see.
North Carolina's the same way.
They want to see the success. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, no, and you're not wrong. Henry, you got to host the show more because that was a great question and good conversation, and it led me into how I wanted to close the show because we were talking about Kentucky football or Kentucky basketball, Tennessee basketball. And we have had this conversation before, and we talk about Rick Barnes and what he has done is impressive. You guys have a coach who has taken you to 3 Elite Eights. We have a coach that has won 3 NCAA tournament games, which is 3 times more than what we had in the Cal area towards the end, which is why he is gone. But it's still not good enough. I think if we had 3, this is kind of a message to the fan base. Where would we be if Pope had taken us to 3 Elite Eights or back-to-back Elite Eights going into a third, say he gets this year? I truly believe we would sit there and talk and say, Pope's not good enough, can't get us to a Final Four, we need somebody else, right? Do you agree with that? And if you do, what do we actually – where do we go when we talk about relevancy and success and expectations in the future? Because if Pope isn't going to be the guy and we need to find a new guy, I think we need to start setting that baseline now.
So this is not going to make people happy when I say this. Part of the issue with BBN in general and like their expectations is people don't want to accept that the landscape of college basketball and college sports has changed so much, right? If a school has money now, they're level with a lot of other, like the Blue Bloods, because they can pay players, hey, I can pay you so much money, come here, right? And Kentucky doesn't mean the same and to these younger kids as it does to the fan base, right? That being said, the fan base expectations is national championship or bust every single year. That's the problem, right? Like they want a championship or to be in the hunt for one every single year. And so yes, we have seen schools like UConn do that, but UConn doesn't have football to deal with, right? UConn's the king of that school. Basketball is king of UConn. They don't have football to deal with. They don't have anything to deal with, right? But that's expectations for, and I don't know if there's a coach or a baseline to establish for that for the fan base. Is that what I'm saying makes sense? Like Elite Eights are shit. That's great. Final Four is even better. But the fan base is national championship or bust every single year. That's just how they think. That's and if you look at Twitter all over the place, right? Time for 9, 40-0, like that stuff goes wild and people start buying in and believing it and going. And then it's, oh, well, if we don't make it to this, then we're not, it doesn't matter.
But is it wrong to have the expectation of winning a natty every year?
I think it's unrealistic, especially in today's day and age. Like, especially when So how many schools can have money and pay players, because that's all lovely players do. They want the money, right? Like,
yeah, there are 365 basketball teams in Division One. 364 of them have a failure of a season every year. If you're a Kentucky fan,
yes,
Yeah.
and that's like, it's championship or bust every single year,
yeah,
and it's unrealistic, especially in today's like college basketball landscape, when money is the equalizer to everything. And these schools have money now. The businesses, rich people, donors, alumni, they're paying this money, and they have that money now. And you can't just say, oh, well, we're Kentucky. These kids don't give a shit about Kentucky, what's on the front of the jersey. They don't care anymore. They don't care. That's not important to them anymore. They only want the money, and they want the money now. And how quick can they get the NBA? And guess what? That's why I see so many people in the transfer portal, because they'll go and they'll get more money someplace else.
I mean, to be fair, I don't think it's mattered as much as we would like it to in the last decade and a half.
It hasn't, but it's even worse now. And I think that's the biggest thing that a lot of a BBN doesn't understand, or they don't want to understand. Like, well, we're Kentucky. You're right. We're Kentucky. We have all of this. We have this. We have this. We have this. Tradition, history is fantastic. But at the end of the day, to today's kids, they do not care what's on front of the jersey. They want the money, and you've seen the transfer portal when it goes haywire, when over half the college players end up in the transfer portal to try to get more money someplace else. It's literally it's like gunman for hire. It's who pays the most money to try to be successful that season. And
and I don't disagree with the statement that people have made, is you go get the dogs and then you teach them when they're here what it means to be a Kentucky basketball player, right? Go get the dudes who fit the system, are talented, like the guys who are going to make the best roster. Once they get here, start indoctrinating into like what Kentucky basketball is, what it means to the fan base, why it's important.
Right.
You can get the buy-in off season, and
I think Pope's doing it the wrong way, though. Like, Pope is trying to preach the history of Kentucky so much, like, oh, the place is so special. Well, he's done it. You've seen, he talks about it changed my soul. Those kids don't give a shit. They don't care about that. They don't care about the history right now. They want the money. That is it. They want the money. High school recruits, transfer, they want the money. They don't care. And so you can't, it's like the mindset has to flip. This is a business now, and college sports is not called college sports. It's a business, right? It is. Jensen, he didn't at all, but also he wasn't getting paid like he is. Like, that's the problem. He wasn't getting paid like these players are now at all. It was, hey, this Rick Pitino is a hell of a recruiter, obviously. He's a hell of a coach. Brought him in, and then he understood that. But now, these kids don't care. And that's we've seen some kids make really like puzzling decisions, like, why would he go there?
I don't know. I think when Pope came here, though, what Rick Pitino had done since he got there in the early 80s and, up until Pope got here, the mid 90s was Kentucky basketball. Like, I mean, we were a shot away from going to third straight. We were
one inch away from winning 3 in a row. I think Derek Anderson blew his knee out, and it messed up that season.
So like, I think it meant something, and that's what Pope's talking about. That's what he got out there. But again, I'm not going to sit here. I'm frustrated with what Pope did with the Donnie Freeman thing and how some of this stuff has played this year. But Drew, I see your comments. I'm not buying in that he can't recruit. He has missed on freshmen. That is frustrating as well. There has been mismanagement of some of these things, and maybe it's because Pope is the lead recruiter and he shouldn't be. Maybe it's because the guys who were the lead recruiters we thought were going to be studs who are now not coaching for Kentucky their other way. Maybe they're not as good as we thought they were. Again, we got a lot of people in the building and we couldn't close. Was that on Pope? Again, we just talked about the administration being a problem, but in 2 years that he's been here, he has built good teams. There have been some injury luck. There has been some roster construction things where you don't have the depth you need, i.e. point guard. You don't go to a place of Caden Lewis. Yes, but every team has that. But you're not going to convince me that Pope hasn't constructed a good roster in the last 2 years. He is struggling right now. And a lot of that, I think, is because he thought he was going to retain more talent than he did. Mo D was going to be here a long time. Jalen Lowe was going to be here a long time.
They all signed 2-year contracts. Yeah, they signed up for 1-2-year contracts, and they left.
and for Jalen Lowe, it was we don't have a spot for you, dog. For Mo D, I'm really not sure what that was. Maybe he just was kind of tired of it, or they thought they were going to get a better 4 and they just didn't. So again, this offseason has been the most frustrating. But I'm not going to look back at the last years and not use like what he did in the past and say, oh, well, he just can't do it. No, he's done it well. He's mismanaged on the court. He's been mismanaged in season. The way he coaches, frustrating, but building a roster, he has done that 2 years in a row. He's behind the 8 ball right now to get it done this year, and this is the most important year, which is the frustrating thing as a fan and the unfortunate thing if you're Pope.
Yeah, Drew, there's some disconnect there completely. Something's not clicking between Pope players. Something.
Yeah, because it used to be Duke, Kansas, Kentucky, Michigan State, North Carolina. Like every top player, that's where they went. Everybody else got the leftovers.
And now it's just everywhere.
And
Arizona's getting a bunch of good guys, right? Like Florida's getting the guys. Tennessee. It's because, as Vic said earlier, we're not the only ones paying the players now. Like everyone else is be able to pay. Everyone else pay, like, because you can't tell me Blue Buzz didn't play players before. Like they absolutely did.
Oh, it's documented.
Duke paid the one dude bought his family a whole giant ass house. What was that guy's name?
Yeah. I mean, Alabama football and Kentucky basketball, the 2 most corrupt programs in college history. So.
Oh, that's alleged. That's allegedly.
I mean,
and Coach Evans, you are not going to tell me
$250K.
You're not going to tell me that the team we had year one, with the way they clicked and the way they played, if you have Jackson Robinson healthy and you don't have Kobe Bray as your lead scorer with Otega Oweh, Andrew Carr's healthy, you got a fully healthy
and Lamont Butler. Yeah.
And you have, say you don't lose Kerr as your backup option, you ain't telling me that's not at least a Final Four caliber team. I saw too many great wins with that team.
I would agree with that.
So
three players really derailed the entire season, to be fair. Yeah. Again. So
and that happens. That happens a lot, and coaches still get fired.
Yes, 100%. Potential will get you fired. That's the thing. If you got a lot of potential but no results, it will get you fired. So you gotta figure it out. And no one's gonna look back and say, we'll talk about that as fans. Go, man, that team was special if they were healthy, but we'll still go, Coach Pope just wasn't the guy, and he had to go. So you got to win ball games. That's all that matters.
It all ultimately falls on the coach.
Yep. But all right, y'all. That was a great conversation. We're here on 2 hours on a school night, so we'll go ahead and break it. I do agree. Stokes coming to Kentucky will change the narrative. If he doesn't come Tunde from Baylor, if he, there's still things that are out there for Pope to do to break the narrative that he can't do it. But he's got to do it. He's at some point, he's just got to go prove it. And whatever it takes, if it's money, if it's quote unquote overpaying, getting that assistant coach in, handing off the lead recruiting thing to somebody else, or kind of whatever it is that you got to do, he's got to make that assessment to be able to close a deal and get the players, because it's not all on a GM. Guess who doesn't have a GM and they're killing the poor right now? Tennessee. These guys. The Vols, no GM. Rick Barnes and staff are just out there fucking crushing it, right? So you don't need a GM to do the thing. You just have to have the right people in there, and the right message. Get it done. That's all I gotta say. Get it done. But as we always do, I got some tweaks. The team has seen it. Some folks in the group chat have seen it, but we're coming out with a Feed the Studs football jersey that you can personalize.
It looks so good.
We got some things to work on, but I'm excited for that. That one is going to I think that one's going to do very, very well. I know I'll be rocking it at the first home game of #SteinTime, Feed the Studs. But for the stuff that we have currently live on the website, you can go to Bluegrass. That gets me. He got to change the name. Bluegrass-elite.com. Heavy Pour 15. Get 50% off all your Kentucky, Tennessee, Louisville, Cincinnati, Cleveland, just bourbon merch. Whatever you like, they have it on there. Or if you're looking for a hat, T's got one on. I got one on. You can go to statelineco.com shop, all UK ball 25, get 25% off. They just dropped a mossy oak tee. I don't do the hunting thing. I wear enough camo in real life, so I don't like wear it on my free time. But they got the State Line script camo stuff they got going on. We're getting ready to get into tailgate season for football, so you get the tailgate tee with the pups on the back. They even have they have a camo Tennessee hat if you're into that sort of thing. They got things for all the border rival fan bases. Go to that QR code, all UK ball 25, get 25% off, and get it shipped to you before football season kicks off. Team, thanks for your time on a Wednesday. Chat, thanks for keeping us live. If you're watching this right now, if you can repost it, I would definitely appreciate it. Go to our YouTube channel at Heavy Report Sports. Follow along there. Our TikTok at Heavy Report Sports. Follow along there. Border Rivals HPS on X. And then you see on the Tigers been scoring all day. The team ats. What are they called? What are they?
They're handles.
Handles. Our handles are right there. Go follow it. Y'all be easy. Go Cats.
Go Cats.
Go Big Orange.
Go Vols.
I think you need to add some excitement to your Go Big Orange tee.
That was way too much Kentucky talk for me. So that's what you get from me.
We talked about Tennessee for like half the show. You just can't be pleased.
That is not true.
We spent like 30 minutes on Nate and Mint. Like
yeah. Yeah.
We've been like 2 hours, T.
Feel free to go over these 2 hours and compare.
Well, we'll try that again. Go Cats.
Go Cats.
You suck, dude. Peace. Play the
Go
music.
Big Orange.